Morning everybody, Sinead here with Free Tours by Foot. Another day, another royal procession. Welcome to the state opening of Parliament. We are ready to go. I have my little step there, ladies and gents. We are waiting for the very first state opening of Parliament for King Charles III and Queen Camilla. It's an exciting day. There's a lot happening. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all about it. Here you can see, now the sun is directly in our eyes presently. They'll be heading down there towards the Victoria Tower, and the King will enter through the Sovereign's entrance. I'll go through the ceremony with you shortly, but we want to see the massive royal procession, which will be great today. Okay, so the ceremony begins, ladies and gents. We will have commentary along the way of the parade. Let's see who's coming now. This could most likely, yes, I expect that this is the Imperial State Crown, possibly on the way down. Yes, accompanied by the watermen and the Lord Chamberlain. There is in the Sword of State and the Cap of Maintenance, heading down right before, escorted by the Household Cavalry Horse Guards of the King. And in the back, the watermen get their name actually from ancient times when they used to bring the crown jewels via boat from the Tower of London. So they have the distinct honour of escorting the Cap of Maintenance and the sword. That's going to play a significant role today in the ceremony. And they will be heading in to put the Imperial State Crown, which will be held in the robing room for King Charles when he arrives. We have the Major General. This is called Proving the Route. So I believe this may be Major General Gika. He is in charge of leading the procession to prove the route, which basically is to make sure the route is secure for the King and Queen en route to Whitehall. Now, the state opening of Parliament is basically the official opening of Parliament by the monarch or the sovereign, where he has his speech on the day. If you can hear some shouting in the background, there's some anti-royalists are out today. Now, the Imperial State Crown that King Charles is wearing today has 2,868 diamonds, 17 sapphires, 11 emeralds, 5 rubies, and 269 pearls, weighing approximately 1 kilogram. Yeah, that seems to be the chap. Now, if I had James with me, I would be set, but basically they're proving the route, making sure the route is secure for the King's arrival. The state opening in Parliament, however, has its roots in medieval times, dating all the way back even to the 16th century. And this particular ceremony, however, was a ceremony that was first used in 1858, after Parliament was opened after that destructive fire in 1834. And again, it's the first time a British king has opened Parliament in 73 years. 1950 was the last time, and that was King George VI. King Charles's grandfather, the father of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Now, in his speech today, he's outlined what he expects his government to do in the new parliamentary season, and it's expected he'll pay tribute to Her Majesty the Queen. So we're going to see the parade just from here initially, guys, and then what I want to do is try and get you back to the Mall for the return parade and the gun salute that will be in Green Park at, I expect, usually about 1 o'clock. But just to show you, there's some of the anti-monarchists down here, the anti-royalists. So we expect the King and Queen will arrive in the Irish state coach. That's usually the coach they use for the state opening of Parliament. And that one was built in 1851. And it was built by the Lord Mayor of Dublin, actually, and it was on display in 1853 in the Great Industrial Exhibition in Dublin, and it caught the eye of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, and they were so enamoured by it, they decided they wanted to buy it, and they bought it themselves, and it immediately became Queen Victoria's favourite coach. And she used it quite frequently, especially after the death of her beloved Prince Albert. So the Yeomen of the Guard and the Royal Bodyguard since 1485 will also play a huge role in the ceremony today. They actually are responsible for searching the cellars of the Houses of Parliament before the King arrives. And that dates back, of course, to when Guy Fawkes attempted to blow up Parliament in the Gunpowder Plot in 1605. So they ensure that the cellars of Parliament are secure. And here we go. Somebody's entertaining us this morning. So it's now 11 a.m. and the King and Queen are due to arrive at 11:20 to Parliament. And the ceremony will begin when Charles will descend the carriage and enter, King Charles alongside Queen Camilla, and will enter through the Sovereign's entrance of Victoria Tower. It's the only time in the year that the Royal Standard will be flying from Victoria Tower. And he'll enter the robing room. He will be robed then in the robe of state, and he will wear the Imperial State Crown when he emerges. And he will lead a royal procession through, I think it's the Royal Gallery they call it, yeah, it's through the Royal Gallery with 600 guests. Guests will be waiting, and then to the chamber of the House of Lords, where they will take their seats on a throne at the chamber of the House of Lords. The next major event includes the House of Lords official, who is known as Black Rod. He will be sent to summon the House of Commons and the MPs and the Prime Minister, etc. He will arrive. The door to the Commons chamber will be shut in his face, a practice that dates back to the Civil War to symbolise actually the Commons' independence from the monarchy. He will then, Black Rod is his name, he will strike the door 3 times. Then he'll enter in and summons the House of Commons members, and members of the House of Commons will follow Black Rod and the Speaker of the House of Commons, and they'll head to the Lord's chamber to listen to the speech, which is expected to take place at 11:30. Okay, so we're having the Sovereign's escort around the way, the Household Cavalry, Blues and Royals, ladies and gents. Actually, they're preceded by the lifeguards. These are the personal security of the King, as we know from previous royal processions. And this is the moment we've been waiting for. Now we'll see where we can get a look at this. We're going to have about 1,400 soldiers. Now here we have the full parade arriving. I think the best way to do it now is just to keep the camera here. You hear a bit of shouting in the background. So they are saluting the stenotaph, acknowledging the most important British war memorial in the world. And of course, on the cavalry blacks, who are trained to deal with these huge royal ceremonies, onto a trot for some reason. They're moving a bit faster. It might be a little bit behind schedule maybe, and here we go. Oh my God, the coach looks amazing. Acknowledging the cenotaph again. Eyes front. And here we have, I expect it's the King and Queen, carrying yes, indeed it is, Her Majesty the Queen and King Charles III. And the King on his way to opening Parliament. Here we have this will be the Queen's ladies in waiting. And there's Princess Anne, who would be the Colonel of the Blues and Royals. watching the ceremony as well. What an amazing day. And we have other members of the royal family. The Landaus are out in force today. What a procession, isn't this incredible? A couple of boos down there, but ooh! They've disturbed the horses, you guys. Oh my God. The horses got completely, watch this. So the horses got really, really upset there by the boos. Watch now, we'll see if this happens again with the blues and royals here. So they spooked the horses with the booing and the shouting. Oh, I hope this doesn't happen again. I hope they hold tough. No, the second round is okay, guys. That's all right. Bless them, the poor horses. And that is part one of the ceremony. And the king is heading in now to give his speech. And we are going to make our way, as quick as we can now, back up the mall so we can get another very good look. So stay tuned, part two. Hope you can hear the guns and the firing in the background. We've missed that, unfortunately. I'm so sorry, folks, but I can't be in two places at one time. You hear it in the background? But I'll have an idea by the security where the best place will be. No balcony appearance today, never is for state opening, but we will head over the bridge here and see. Should we? Oh, look at the standard. Flying loud and proud. Very big one up and out today. Looking beautiful. And the other side, there's horse guards where the return journey will take place. And they came through that arch and through horse guards today. We have a little performance here. Again, coming back and what they call proving the route. So basically, the securing the route for the king. Oh, here we have some activity on this side as well. Some more members of the royal family on the move. Now we know it's not Prince William because Prince William is in Singapore, as is. So normally the Prince and Princess of Wales would be involved in this. So they're heading into Clarence House. So I expect there's probably a luncheon probably going to be held in there afterwards at King Charles and Queen Camilla's residence. They're headed just in there to Clarence House. So here is Major General Greikan. Okay, so I think we've a bit of activity again now, guys. It's usually takes about 20 minutes to come from Parliament, as we'll know from the timings of the funeral and the coronation up here, but they are standing to attention, and yes, it's the Household Cavalry Lifeguard Regiment, so they're on the way. See them coming up here on the right hand side. See them in just a moment, folks. Bit of activity in and out of Clarence House as well. We might head over there shortly. They're standing to attention now. And this is a return procession. They're playing God Save the King. Preceded by the Metropolitan Police, of course. Can't avoid the hats, I'm afraid, folks. Here we go. Oh, they look so beautiful, the Household Cavalry. They're out in full regalia. Seems to be my best angle, and here comes His Majesty King Charles III and Queen Camilla on the way. How beautiful the Irish coach look. And here they are on the return journey. Princess Anne. I'm not quite sure who that is, but alas, they're headed back to the palace. Beautiful parade, ladies and gents, in around the palace and in through the palace gates, preceded by, and finally, the rear, the King's Sovereign's escort, the Blues and Royals. I should have thought, folks, I thought it was over, and of course I forgot that they have to return the crown, Imperial State Crown, the cap of maintenance, and the sword of state, and that's what's being returned to the palace in order to be returned to the Jewel Tower at the Tower of London. The only time it's ever out, there's the cap of maintenance. If you look inside, you'll just about see maybe the sword of, there it is, destiny, and there is the Imperial State Crown, and that's being returned to Buckingham Palace in order for it to be brought back to the Tower of London. So the only two times it's ever in use, the Imperial State Crown, is the coronation and the state opening of Parliament. So, see, this is what I love about these days, you guys. You always think it's over, and then you see the King's Troop Royal Artillery returning, and these would have fired the gun salute for His Majesty this morning. So we will take this part of the procession in. I am right beside Clarence House. I'm waiting there also for their expected return to Clarence House, which we expect they'll arrive back shortly. And there's the gun carriage. It's pretty spectacular. And hopefully they will be returning to Clarence House. Thank you for that handy tip, by the way, to my customer who told me that it's an amateur mistake to film in the sun. Maybe heading perhaps for another gun salute, actually. I know there's one at the tower. They'll be making that long journey to the tower from here, perhaps. So I expect they're going to definitely return here now anyway, because they've closed the barriers again, you guys. The armed police are outside the frontier. And we can see the outriders are assembling at the top of the palace, so we'll wait for their return. So that's me for another one, ladies and gents. Sinead signing out from Free Tours by Foot London. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help us and the channel. Thanks as ever, ladies and gents. See you soon. Bye for now.